This video is dedicated to Maggie, a husky we got to know through the comments on our last video. Your dog barking isn't the problem. That sentence is going to make more sense in about 2 minutes. Barking is communication, one of the few tools your dog has to tell you that something is happening in their world. The issue isn't the bark itself. The issue is when it becomes excessive, untriggered, or completely uncontrollable. And the reason most owners struggle to fix it is because they're responding to the symptom instead of whatever is driving it. In this video, we're going through what's actually causing the barking, the mistakes that make it worse, and the approaches that behavioral science consistently shows to be effective. This is not about quick fixes. It's about understanding what's going on, because that's the only thing that actually works long term. Before you can address excessive barking, you need to identify which kind you're dealing with. Dogs bark for completely different reasons, and each one requires a different response. Alert barking. Something changed in the environment. A car outside, a knock at the door, a person walking past the window. This is instinctive and deeply wired. Your dog isn't misbehaving. They're doing exactly what their biology designed them to do. Boredom barking. Understimulated dogs bark to self-soothe and fill time. This one is almost always a lifestyle issue rather than a training issue. The dog has energy and no outlet for it. Anxiety barking. This one sounds different. It's often repetitive, rhythmic, and continues even when the trigger is gone. It's less about communication and more about a nervous system that can't settle. If your dog barks persistently when left alone, this is likely what's happening. Attention barking. Your dog has learned, usually accidentally, that barking produces a response from you. Not necessarily a reward, just a response. And for a dog, any attention is better than none. Knowing which type you're dealing with changes everything about how you respond. Here's where most owners go wrong. Yelling. It feels like a correction. To your dog, it looks like you joining in. Two members of the pack reacting to the same trigger. In many cases, it escalates the barking rather than stopping it. Rewarding the silence at the wrong moment. If your dog barks for 5 minutes, stops, and you immediately say, "Good dog," and offer attention, you've just taught them that barking is the path to getting your focus. The timing of your response matters enormously. Shock collars and punishment-based tools. Beyond the ethical concerns, and we have serious ones, a 2020 study published in PLOS One tracking 92 dogs across training schools found that dogs trained with aversive methods showed significantly higher cortisol levels and more stress behaviors than dogs trained with reward-based methods. They also showed a more pessimistic outlook in decision-making tests afterward. The stress doesn't stay in the training session, it follows them out. We'd also be failing you if we didn't mention this briefly. Debarking surgery. The surgical removal of a dog's vocal cords does exist. We consider it inhumane, full stop. It removes your dog's primary means of communication, carries serious surgical risk, and solves nothing about the underlying behavior. It should never be on the table. Drop a comment. What does your dog bark at most? The door, strangers, other dogs, or nothing you can figure out? Tell me their name too. Keep watching. What actually works? The quiet command, taught correctly. Wait for your dog to bark. Let them bark 2 or 3 times. Don't interrupt it. Then say quiet in a calm, neutral tone. The moment they stop, even for 2 seconds, reward that silence immediately with a treat and calm praise. You're not rewarding the bark. You're marking the quiet. A 2022 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that positive reinforcement training protocols reduced doorbell barking from an average of 19 barks per minute to just 2 in dogs trained by their own owners at home, not professional trainers. Regular owners who applied a consistent method. Consistency is the entire thing here. If the command works on Tuesday and gets ignored on Thursday, your dog isn't being stubborn. They're experiencing a pattern that doesn't hold together. Same response every time is what builds the association. Remove the trigger where you can. If your dog barks at pedestrians through the front window, block the view during the training period. If the doorbell sends them into a spiral, disconnect it temporarily and use a knock instead. You're not avoiding the problem. You're reducing the rehearsal of the behavior while the new one is being built. Every time a dog barks uninterrupted at a trigger, that response gets slightly more wired in. Exercise changes the baseline. Behavioral research consistently links under-exercise to elevated anxiety and reactivity in dogs. A dog who has genuinely burned their energy is neurologically calmer. Their threshold for triggering is higher. This isn't a training technique, it's a physiological reality. 30 minutes of real exercise, not a slow walk, actual elevated heart rate activity, twice a day makes every other training effort more effective. Don't reward attention-seeking barking with attention. If your dog has learned that barking gets a reaction from you, even a negative one, the only way to undo this is to make the barking completely unrewarding. Look away. Leave the room if you need to. The moment they're quiet, come back and give them what they wanted. The message you're building is, silence works, barking doesn't. This takes longer than it sounds like it should. Stick with it. Excessive barking is almost always communication with nowhere to go. Your dog is either reacting to something real, trying to get something they need, or running on a nervous system that hasn't found a way to settle. None of those are character flaws. All of them are addressable. Start with the cause. Match your response to that. Stay consistent. And if the barking is severe, persistent, and nothing is shifting, a qualified behaviorist is always worth the conversation. If this helped, hit like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and drop your dog's name and what they bark at most in the comments. I want to see what we're all dealing with out there. See you in the next video.